clearing continues as we go into our Thursday night. Temperatures under a mostly clear sky dip down to around 40. The farms overnight may even see the upper 30s by the time you wake up on Friday morning. Friday, the sunshine finally back in a big way, full of sunshine. We're headed up to 70 for the afternoon, even some low 70s for some folks, and a beautiful Easter weekend on the way. Mid-70s Saturday. We'll try and hit 80 for Easter Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Make your work easier with Eagle Rentals of Troutman and Statesville. Eagle Rentals has generators, heaters, fans, painting equipment, floor care equipment, pressure washers, lighting equipment, and lawn care equipment. Plus, Eagle Rentals has construction equipment like forklifts, bobcat loaders, backhoes, excavators, and more. Reserve online at eaglerentals.com. That's eaglerentals.com.
Everyone, hello again. We're back here. This is the Scoreboard. And for the next hour, you'll be hearing from me. We'll chat about local, regional, national sports. We got high school baseball going on. We got Major League Baseball going on. Yes, I said Major League Baseball is going on today. 844 Studio 4 will get you here onto the program today, part of the Scoreboard. Give me a call. Let me know what you have on your mind, anything and everything at all. We will chat about it right here on WSIC. Opening day for Major League Baseball is today. Yes, games are going on right now. And what is baseball without a little bit of a rain out? The Braves visiting the Phillies, the Brewers visiting the Mets. Both of those games postponed due to rain. First day of the season, and we already have postponements and rainouts. Right now, the Tigers and the White Sox are the closest to finishing up the first game of the year. Top 9, Tigers up 1-0 over the Sox right now. Bunch of other games in the 7th inning. We got the Nationals, the Reds, Cardinals, Dodgers, Blue Jays, Rays, Giants, Padres, Pirates, Marlins, and Yankees, Astros. All of those games currently in the 7th inning. So baseball is back. We are here for it. I'm here for it, at least. I love that baseball is back. I hope you share this same sentiment towards baseball because it's one of the greatest sports that we have here in the U.S. And it is a long season, but it is a fun season, that's for sure. A lot of ups and downs. Last year was a wonderful season. We had the phenom of Ellie De La Cruz just break out there, and he kind of slowed down towards the end of the year, but still, nonetheless, pretty good matchups here all day on the MLB opening day, kind of. And we talked about it already. So we're going to talk some baseball, let you know what's going on, scores around the league. We have to give you an NHL update at some point today. Look, not many games left for all these teams. Hurricanes have 9 games remaining, and yes, they do play today. But when you look at the overall standings, the overall league standings, the New York Rangers are the number 1 team in the NHL with 100 points. The Carolina Hurricanes are 7th in the NHL with 97 points. They're 3 points behind the Rangers, and they're 7th in the NHL. I don't know about you, but that just goes to show the top of the NHL. And I've heard this a lot over the past few weeks regarding, you don't want to be the best NHL team. You don't want to win the President's Trophy because it seems like over the past 15 years or so, the winner of the President's Trophy has been cursed in the NHL. President's Trophy goes to the team with the most points in the regular season. Right now, that would be the New York Rangers. But I would argue that this year, it's not going to matter. There's so many teams at the top of the standings. Anybody could win the President's Trophy at this point. Last year with the Bruins, it was a foregone conclusion. They were the best team in the regular season. Nobody was arguing that. But this year, I don't know. And remember, the Oilers had a terrible start to the year. They fired their coach. They were horrible. They're 9th in the NHL, 10 points behind the New York Rangers. It's tight at the top of the league. You have 2 teams with 98 points, 3 teams with 97 points. It's going to be a race to the finish here. So we'll go into the NHL as we have the Carolina Hurricanes in action tonight, as well as their team that they're catching, the New York Rangers. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA because we have some Hornets news with LaMelo Ball. Yes, we have some LaMelo Ball news. The NCAA tournament kicks back off today. It is the Sweet 16. Did you join the WSIC Merrillfest Madness tournament? Well, if you did, you're probably beating me, right now at least, because I'm 10th in the WSIC bracket. Joe Nelson, you're currently leading that thing. I hope you're feeling confident, but I don't know. I'm looking at your bracket, and I'd say you don't have many teams left that can still win. Also, we're going to get into some NASCAR as well, as we are just a few days away from action at Richmond. We have the Cup Series on Sunday. We have the Xfinity Series on Saturday. And on Friday, we have the Wheelin' Modified Tour in town. So we'll let you know all the things you need to know for the NASCAR season. 844-STUDIO-4, that gets you into the studio part of the scoreboard today. Let's get into high school baseball as we are right in the middle of the season. Starting things off same way we've been doing with Mooresville High School. They do have a game coming up. Now, it's not today. It'll be tomorrow. And then over the weekend, they have a tournament that they're competing in. They also are going to be playing again on Monday and on Tuesday and on Friday. So a lot of games in a row coming up for Mooresville. And that's a team that honestly could have used a little bit of a break in the schedule. 1-10 right now. Not that great. 0-4 in the Greater Metro 4A Conference. And we've talked about this conference quite extensively. The parity, I guess it's parity, the separation between the top and the bottom of this conference. You got 2 undefeated teams, 1 team with 1 loss, and then everybody else is winless. That's just some wild stats there. So Mooresville High School, they play tomorrow on the road against West Rowan. First pitch in that game right around 4 o'clock. Moving on to Lake Norman High School. They don't play tomorrow, but Saturday they are also competing in a tournament in the area. Their first game is going to be against the Butler Bulldogs. Now, Lake Norman has been on a roll as of late. Started the year 1-4. Since then, 8 consecutive wins. And those 8 wins in a row have helped propel them to the number 72 team in the state of North Carolina. So ranked 72nd is Lake Norman High School. They'll be at home on Saturday against Butler High School, taking them on as part of their tournament. And then they do have a little bit of time off next week before they get back into conference play. So a little lull in the schedule for Lake Norman as they regroup things. We're coming up on the first break of the day. We still got more high school sports that we need to talk about. Statesville, all of the directional Iredell schools, and what's going on in the state rankings. No update yet. Still the same as it was on Monday, but we're going to remind you who is ranked where, how these schools are shaken out in the state. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned because we got a long way to go here on the scoreboard. We're back after this.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the clearing continues as we go into our Thursday night. Temperatures under a mostly clear sky dip down to around 40. The farms overnight may even see the upper 30s by the time you wake up on Friday morning. Friday, the sunshine finally back in a big way, full of sunshine. We're headed up to 70 for the afternoon, even some low 70s for some folks, and a beautiful Easter weekend on the way. Mid-70s Saturday. We'll try and hit 80 for Easter Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. This Saturday, come enjoy Birkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Collect 10 eggs and then trade them in for special treats. The event is open to the public. No registration is required. There will be 2 hunts so all our little friends can have some fun. Egg hunt for ages 3 and under starts at 9 a.m. For ages 3 to 7, the hunt will start at 10 a.m. Saturday, Birkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Wagyu meatballs? French onion soup? Tomahawk ribeye? Epic Chop House is open again. Come out and have an amazing time in downtown Mooresville. For the best experience, a reservation is recommended. To schedule your reservation, visit epicchophouse.com. You can also call 704-230-1720. That's 704-230-1720. Welcome back, Epic Chop House. epicchophouse.com. Summer camps are just around the corner. Check out some of the camps happening at Kane Center for the Arts. Pottery for Teens, Paint, Broadway Through the Ages, and many more. Kane Center for the Arts is offering week-long camps starting June 10th through August 9th. For more info and to register for any of the summer camps, visit canearts.org. That's CAINarts.org. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at muralfest.org. Listen every morning to Good Morning LKN and follow WSIC News on Instagram for your chance to win tickets. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Happening now at Randy Marion Ford Chevrolet in Statesville.
How about a new car, truck, or SUV? What a better way to start 2024 than at Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln taking advantage of a special purchase of 2023 Mazda CX-30s. These are the carbon editions starting at $24,770. You picked a color. Here today, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. We have got the king of price deal. Like always, 2024, come see them today.
Now more of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone, we're back here on The Scoreboard. 844 Studio 4, that gets you into the studio part of the program here today. Lots left to talk about, a lot of show left on this Thursday. We are in the middle of our high school baseball conversation, keeping you updated everything around the area, what schools are performing well, who doesn't look all that great so far, and where are we in terms of state rankings and national rankings for that matter. Well, I can tell you one thing. In the high school baseball state rankings, there are no North Carolina teams in the top 25 in the country. Did I say state? In the country. So I'm looking at the National High School Baseball rankings. This was actually updated yesterday. There are still no North Carolina teams in the top 25. Unfortunate, yes, but what are you going to do? I know we'd all love to see some more North Carolina teams being nationally ranked, but just not there yet. A reminder, Wayne Country Day in Goldsboro is the number 1 ranked team in North Carolina right now. South Mecklenburg and Charlotte, they are ranked number 10. And a lot of other schools relatively around the area. We got to get all the way to 52 before we get to one of the schools that we're going to talk about here in a second. But before we get there, we got to continue down our list, going next to Statesville High School. So Statesville, they've had a rough year. They have had a rough start to their baseball year, starting the season 0-6, 0-4 in conference play. Now that's tough. It is. So 0-6 to start the year. Their best game was the most recent game that they played, though, so they can take some solace in that. They only lost that game 8-4. Every other game, against North Iredell, 16-0, against East Lincoln, 17-3, 9-1, 10-2, 7-0. 8-4 seems pretty respectable. Now, they have a game tonight in about 40 minutes from now. They're taking on St. Stephen's at home, and then they have a massive week off before they get to Hickory High School on the road. That one's going to be a little bit later next week, though, so they got a little bit of time off. They're going to need it. They got to regroup and get it together because there's not many games left for Statesville High School, and if they keep losing, they might not get back to 500. It's going to be an uphill battle for them to get to 500. They've scored 10 runs, and they've allowed 67 in the first 6 games of the season. That doesn't scream a team that's going to fight and claw their way back into things. But we'll see what happens with Statesville High School baseball. Team not looking great to start the year, 0-6, but a long way to go still. North Iredell next up on our list. They're 500 in the conference right now. The Western Foothills 3A, 3-5 overall. And last time they played was on the 26th against St. Stephen's. That was a couple of days ago. Now, I don't have a report of the final score there. So if anybody does know, North Iredell, St. Stephen's, that was a Tuesday game. I still don't have the results for that one. If anybody happens to know, it'd be wonderful to reach out. Let me know what you got, what you know. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. North Iredell does play today. They're at home at 7 o'clock against Ford High School. Moving on to West Iredell, another team that's struggling to start the year, a losing record on their end. 500 in the conference, though, as they're 2-2 in the Western Foothills, 4-6 overall. Their most recent game was against St. Stephen's on Monday, and they lost that one 8-2. Now, they have a chance to get back in the win column after losing a couple of games in a row. The problem is they're running into the North Lincoln Knights down there in Lincolnton, who is the 65th ranked team in North Carolina. For comparison, West Iredell, 256th ranked team. But that game is today, same as Statesville High School for West Iredell. After this game, they have a big break until a couple of weeks from now before they get back into their games, and then not long before we get to the end of the season, which is in May, early May, it looks like, as I scroll down here. Final team we're going to talk about today is the team that seems to be doing the best in the area, but they dropped a game last night. Not last night, I'm sorry, on Tuesday. They dropped a game on Tuesday. Ran into Hickory Ridge, part of their conference, that 4A Greater Metro Conference. Hickory Ridge continue to remain undefeated in the conference, 5-0, as they beat South Iredell, which knocked them to 3-2 in the conference. 7-3 overall, and for South Iredell, still the number 53 ranked team in the state of North Carolina. But they're running into a hot team here in Hickory Ridge, who they just played on Tuesday. Now they have to play them again today. This time, though, it'll be at South Iredell, so it'll be a home game for the Vikings. That should make a little bit of a difference, honestly. I am a firm believer that home field advantage is a thing. Some people disagree, but I don't. You know your home stadium the best, in my opinion. All the little quirks about it, all the spots in the outfield that you need to be aware of, especially at the high school level where you're not playing on a Major League Baseball field that's got a team of people whose job it is to make sure it looks like the most beautiful patch of grass you've ever seen. So that wraps up our high school baseball talk. As always, we're going to continue covering that throughout the rest of the year, let you know who's good as we get to state championship time, and that'll take us into the summer when we'll really be into NASCAR and baseball and the Olympics, which are coming up. Breakdancing in the Olympics. Woo! What a time to be alive. Football is going to be in the Olympics eventually. Now, I know flag football is supposed to be in the Olympics, but I'm talking pads football. You got football in London, football in Germany, Brazil. They're growing the game. They're doing what a lot of other leagues have been trying to do, and that's grow the game internationally. Now, some leagues don't have to try as hard as others, but the NFL is finally starting to make some gains in the international community. The second game of the season this year for the NFL is going to be in Brazil. It's going to be on a Friday. So we're going to have the opening game of the season on a Thursday, and then you're going to have the Eagles in Brazil on a Friday, exclusively on Peacock, by the way. Remember the exclusively on Peacock. That was something they did in the playoffs last year. They gave a streaming site an exclusive playoff game. Interesting decision. And now you're going to have football worldwide. We still have London games. You're going to Brazil second week of the season. Germany seemed to be a success. Eventually, leagues are going to start popping up around the world. And eventually, the Olympics will have some football. Now, they're going to have flag football, and they're going to have breakdancing. Bring baseball back. We got hockey back. Well, not that the sport of hockey left the Olympics, but the NHL players left the Olympics, which was a tragedy. But they're back. They'll be back in 2026. At least that's the plan. Real quick, before we get into our next commercial break. Earlier today, around 10 a.m., it was announced on the Charlotte Hornets social media. Hornets guard LaMelo Ball will miss the remainder of the 2023-2024 NBA season as he continues to rehab from his right ankle injury. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo, listen to me, buddy. Listen to me. You robbed the Charlotte Hornets. You did. So, good job in robbing the Hornets. But a guy that plays 58 games in 2 seasons, which is what LaMelo Ball has done over the last 2 seasons, he's only been a part of 58 games. That man is making $260 million over the next 5 years. Stealing money. Just stealing money away. And yet here we are. Hornets are terrible. No leadership. No anything. I don't know. It's a bad team. And it's going to take a long time before that team gets better. And I'll tell you what, I knew it from the beginning, personally. LaMelo Ball was not going to be the savior. He wasn't. He's got too much baggage. And yeah, the baggage has kind of gone away and fallen to the wayside, but it's still there. You still know it's there. And it affected the start of his career. With Lonzo and his father and the big baller brand. This is what happens. Sometimes you don't pan out, and you better hope you cashed in when you could. Coming up on the halfway point here in the program, 844 Studio 4, that'll get you on the scoreboard here today. Talk about sports. We're going to come back with, we're going to go to the NCAA tournament because we got games tonight. Stay tuned. We're back after this.
Keep it right here. We'll have more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg in just a moment from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the clearing continues as we go into our Thursday night. Temperatures under a mostly clear sky dip down to around 40. The farms overnight may even see the upper 30s by the time you wake up on Friday morning. Friday, the sunshine finally back in a big way, full of sunshine. We're headed up to 70 for the afternoon, even some low 70s for some folks, and a beautiful Easter weekend on the way. Mid-70s Saturday. We'll try and hit 80 for Easter Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Quality Car Care is your local Toyota specialist and a licensed NC inspection station. Plus, find a huge selection of quality pre-owned cars at QualityCarCareStatesville.com or call 704-871-2535.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The NASCAR Cup Series action is right here on WSIC. Don't miss this weekend's race, the Toyota Owners 400 from Richmond Raceway. Sunday, March 31st at 6 p.m. right here on WSIC.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that. The Climate 360 smart bed actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save $1,000 on our most popular Sleep Number smart bed. Ends Saturday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
President Biden recently released a massive $6 trillion budget, the largest budget in U.S. history. And guess who pays the bill? That's right, you, the American taxpayer. American citizens and business owners will be paying more taxes. That's a fact. And if you owe back taxes, they will be coming after you to collect payments. In fact, President Biden also hired thousands more IRS agents to go after you. If you got a letter from the IRS and you know you owe back taxes or you haven't filed in years, don't put your head in the sand. Call us today. We've saved our customers millions of tax dollars. One quick, free phone call will show you how we can reduce your past tax bill and save you thousands. Guaranteed, or you pay nothing. Call now.
800-218-6440. 800-218-6440. 800.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Even with more talk from Federal Reserve officials about wanting to see inflation come down further before cutting interest rates, Wall Street finished the first quarter of 2024 with some new record highs on small gains, just 0.1% for the Dow and S&P. The Dow rose 47 to 39,807. The S&P was up 6 to 5254. The Nasdaq fell 0.1%, 20 points. It's 25 years in prison for Sam Bankman-Fried, the co-founder of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, could have faced a 50-year stretch if prosecutors had gotten the sentence they wanted. He was convicted of stealing tens of billions of dollars from his customers, and he said he did not knowingly defraud them. Home Depot wants more business from professional contractors, so it's buying SRS Distribution for more than $18 billion. The company serves roofers, pool contractors, and landscapers. Home Depot is looking for growth beyond the do-it-yourself crowd. Joan Doniger, Bloomberg Radio.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Everyone, welcome back. It is now the second half of the Scoreboard on this wonderful Thursday, and you know what happens late March on a Thursday? NCAA basketball. That's right. Man, weekend number 1 was amazing. Upsets galore, brackets getting busted, Cinderellas that you didn't think were going to be Cinderellas, proving to be a lot more to handle than anybody would have predicted. WSIC is hosting a Merlefest Madness tournament. That is an NCAA bracket challenge where the winner gets 4 tickets to Merlefest late April. But if you finish second, we're not that mean. We're going to give you something for your troubles. You're going to get a lot of swag here from WSIC. I'm looking at my picks right now on my bracket, my WSIC bracket, which is wonderful. Number 1, I had, for some reason, Auburn beating UConn this week. UConn got eliminated game number 1 by Yale. What else did I have? Here's a good one. University of New Mexico beating Dayton. Well, New Mexico lost in the first round to Clemson. Dayton was not able to pull off the upset against Arizona. So I got both of those teams wrong. So I'm missing one of my Elite 8 teams already. Plus Auburn. So 2 of them. 2 of my Elite 8 teams. Got Houston over Duke. I'm just going to say it. I don't think Duke's winning the national championship this year. Marquette over Texas Tech. Oops. Sorry, I guess I didn't respect NC State enough as I had them losing to Texas Tech in round 1. Purdue Gonzaga. Yeah, I got that one wrong as well. McNeese. I got to stop listening to people who say the mid-majors are going to pull off big upsets. Then I got Creighton and Tennessee the way it is. A lot of brackets still in play, though. You know, I was looking at the leaderboard on ESPN. There are 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 perfect brackets remaining. One of them has Iowa, one of them has Purdue, and the last one has Houston winning it all. Anyway, we have games coming up today in March Madness. The NCAA tournament moves right on along. Let's go over the games that we have tonight because, look, there's only 4 of them. We're going to have fewer and fewer games here now as we move through the tournament, but it's the best tournament. One of the best tournaments in sports. So at 7 o'clock, immediately following this show today, we'll have Clemson taking on Arizona. About 30 minutes after that, San Diego State and UConn will tip off. Later tonight, around 9:30, Alabama and North Carolina will square off for the West Region Sweet 16 game. And then the night game after 10 o'clock tonight, Illinois and my champion, Iowa State, tip off in the TD Garden. Tomorrow, the Sweet 16 will continue. That's Friday, by the way, in case you weren't aware. First game of the night is going to be NC State and Marquette. Then we got Gonzaga, Purdue, Duke, Houston, and Creighton, Tennessee. The NIT tournament is also going on, just in case anybody has been keeping up with that. Now, App State was in it. Unfortunately, They did not fare very well in it. But the teams that are still remaining here, let's go through them real quick, let you know what we got going on. Oh my goodness, the computer just went crazy on me. We are at the semifinals, by the way, in the NIT. The games are going to be on Tuesday, April the 2nd. Number 1 seed, Seton Hall. Number 4 seed, Georgia, squaring off. And on the other side of the bracket, number 1, Indiana State. Number 2, Utah will meet with a chance to go to the NIT championship game. That will be Thursday, April the 4th. It's going to be on ESPN. So if you're interested in that, you'll be able to tune in, check it out. I'm not as interested in the NIT tournament. You know, it's cool and all that there's still more basketball and some of these players are going to get to continue to play even when you think their careers are over. They get a few more college basketball games under their belt, but it's just not the NCAA tournament. And, you know, the madness isn't there. That's just what I think. I don't think the madness is there. 844 Studio 4, get you right here onto the program today. I hope everybody fares well in this bracket challenge. Want to give away these Merlefest Madness tickets. If one of us wins here at WSIC, that wouldn't look good for you guys. It wouldn't. You got to beat the WSIC crew. Looking at the bracket right now, some of the placements of the WSIC crew here. Frank Horvat behind the scenes. He's number 5. Bill Blakely, number 6, tied with Ben Daniels. Ben, you got Tennessee winning it all? Is that what that says? Tennessee winning it all? Interesting pick. So we'll see what happens tonight as we move through the Sweet 16. Now, this is when the craziness of the NCAA tournament kind of dwindles down. There's not as many games. The Cinderellas are going to start to fan out because they're going to be running into the true elite of the elite. But it's still an interesting time of year because we still have a chance. You know, who knows? NC State could come out on Friday afternoon and just, you know, annihilate their opponent, Marquette. They could. That's why you play the game. It's not likely considering it's an 11 seed playing a 2 seed. But we didn't expect NC State to even be in the tournament to begin with. The only reason they're here is because they won the ACC tournament. You get an automatic bid. We had so many automatic bids that weren't supposed to be in the NCAA tournament that the play-in games were for the 10 seed, not the 11 seed. That doesn't happen. So it's still not a foregone conclusion that these lower seeds are going to move their way through. Gonzaga's going to give Purdue a run for their money. Duke's going to give Houston a run for their money. And tonight, even tonight, I expect Alabama to put up a fight against North Carolina. San Diego State might not be able to hang with UConn. UConn just seems like they're on a different level. And then Illinois and Iowa State, that's a 2 and a 3. Those are going to be good games. The first one, though, like I said, Clemson, number 6 seed, taking on Arizona, the number 2 seed. A lot of people big on Arizona. That one, by the way, I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the scheduling. Not for us, the watchers, but the people going to the games. Game number 1 at 7 o'clock is in LA. Game number 2 at 7:30 is in Boston. Game number 3, Alabama, North Carolina, 9:30 tip-off over on the West Coast in LA. And then the 10 o'clock game is in Boston. Why is the 10 o'clock game in Boston? I don't understand it. You never see that. You never see West or East Coast games starting that late. But in the NCAA tournament, that's what happens. I guess it adds to the madness of it all. One more segment to go when we come back from this commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot of good stuff still yet to get to. Baseball, NASCAR, hockey. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
Keep it right here. We'll have more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg in just a moment. From 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the clearing continues as we go into our Thursday night. Temperatures under a mostly clear sky dip down to around 40. The farms overnight may even see the upper 30s by the time you wake up on Friday morning. Friday, the sunshine finally back in a big way, full of sunshine. We're headed up to 70 for the afternoon, even some low 70s for some folks, and a beautiful Easter weekend on the way. Mid-70s Saturday. We'll try and hit 80 for Easter Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. This Saturday, come enjoy Birkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Collect 10 eggs and then trade them in for special treats. The event is open to the public. No registration is required. There will be 2 hunts so all our little friends can have some fun. Egg hunt for ages 3 and under starts at 9 a.m. For ages 3 to 7, the hunt will start at 10 a.m. Saturday, Birkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Wagyu meatballs? French onion soup? Tomahawk ribeye? Epic Chop House is open again. Come out and have an amazing time in downtown Mooresville. For the best experience, a reservation is recommended. To schedule your reservation, visit epicchophouse.com. You can also call 704-230-1720. That's 704-230-1720. Welcome back, Epic Chop House. epicchophouse.com. Summer camps are just around the corner. Check out some of the camps happening at Kane Center for the Arts. Pottery for Teens, Paint, 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 Broadway Through the Ages, and many more. Kane Center for the Arts is offering week-long camps starting June 10th through August 9th. For more info and to register for any of the summer camps, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at muralfest.org. Listen every morning to Good Morning LKN and follow WSIC News on Instagram for your chance to win tickets. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Hello, friends. This is Dwight with Gullion's Christian Supply and Homeschool Headquarters, inviting you to join the Gullion family and staff in praising the Lord for 30 years of providing you with trustworthy and inspiring books, Bibles, music, gifts, and supplies. We so appreciate your support and friendship over all these years. With locations in King and Statesville, North Carolina, visit us again soon for encouraging fellowship and essential provisions for your Christian life. Gullion's Christian Supply and Homeschool Headquarters, where the Bible stands.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone. Final segment here on the Scoreboard today. 844 Studio 4 gets you here into the studio. You don't have much time, about 10 minutes or so, before we are out of here for the day. And a reminder, in case you haven't heard the news, the Scoreboard will be moving up on Monday to the 5 o'clock hour. Set your alarms accordingly. So the Scoreboard moving up to the 5 to 6 o'clock hour. We'll still be here for an hour every single day giving you all your sports talk needs, but we'll just be doing it an hour earlier than we were. So 844 Studio 4 gets you here, right here onto the studio. We're going to jump to the NHL because we're at the end of the season. We're here. Playoffs are around the corner. And I told you at the beginning of the show, standings are tight. Number 1 through number 7 in the NHL, not in the division, in the NHL, numbers 1 through 7, separated by 3 points. The New York Rangers, the Dallas Stars, the Boston Bruins, Vancouver Canucks, Florida Panthers, Colorado Avalanche, and Carolina Hurricanes all separated by 3 points. Anybody could win the President's Trophy at this point. Any of those 7 teams, even Winnipeg at 8 with 94 points, 6 points behind the New York Rangers. And Edmonton, look, they have 12 games left. They have the most games remaining in the NHL. Who's to say they don't start winning again? I mean, they won 15 in a row earlier in the year. Who's to say they don't go on another run? And, oh my goodness, the Oilers, who had one of, if not the worst starts to a season ever, win the that would be, they'd be a team of destiny, wouldn't they be? So tonight, some big games on the docket. Carolina is going to be in action. So tonight at 7:30, right here at home, Carolina is hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, the Detroit Red Wings. Also tonight, the New York Rangers are in action. They are on the road. They are in Colorado, taking on one of the best teams in the NHL. We just talked about that. The top 7 teams separated by 3 points. Well, Colorado is number 6 right now. So a win for the Avalanche puts them in contention again to win the President's Trophy. Now, I don't know how important winning the President's Trophy is. I personally don't believe it's the most important thing. What I believe is important is this stat right here. When you look at the standings, I don't care about your wins. I don't care about your losses. I don't care about your overtime losses. What I care about is this stat right here in the standings that says regulation wins. Because even if you win in overtime in the regular season, the playoffs are completely different. It's not going to be 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. The Vancouver Canucks and the Winnipeg Jets are tied for first place when it comes to regulation wins only. Both teams have 39. Then you have the Rangers, the Panthers, and the Avalanche at 38, and the Carolina Hurricanes are sitting at 37. So one of the better teams in the league when it comes to that statistic. I'm looking at this team right here. These two teams, the Dallas Stars and the Boston Bruins. Dallas second in the NHL, Boston third in the NHL. Dallas has 34 regulation wins, 45 total. So they have 11 overtime or shootout wins. They have 9 losses in overtime. The Bruins, 33 regulation wins. The Oilers, 33 regulation wins. See, here's the thing about the Bruins that is just so shocking to me. 42 wins on the season, okay? 42 wins on the season. 17 losses. 15 overtime losses. They've lost 15 times in overtime. And they've won 10 times in overtime or a shootout. It doesn't seem to me like a team that's going to have success in the postseason. They can't get it done in regulation. So that's the stat that I care about. Obviously, you want to know what the goal differential is. You want your team to have a good power play, have a good penalty kill, but I'm worried about regulation wins. Is your team able to hang on in the final minutes of the game? Are they able to put one in late and win it in regulation? Because technically, we play overtime like it's still regulation. 5-on-5, and that's it. Not 3-on-3 for 5 minutes and then we'll go to a shootout. So that's just something that I would keep my eye on. By the way, the San Jose Sharks, 71 games played, 12 regulation wins. 12 regulation wins. So if the Carolina Hurricanes are able to get a win tonight and maybe the Rangers lose, that will get them 1 point behind the Rangers in the division standings. Now, thing about that is the Rangers still have an extra game to play. So even though they're both in action right now, the Rangers will still have played less games than the Hurricanes, so they'll still have 2 points that they could possibly gain to get back away from Carolina after this game. A quick look around the Major League Baseball scene. We are here. Game number 1. Tigers beat the White Sox 1-0. Twins beat the Royals 4-1. Blue Jays beat the Rays 8-2. The Dodgers, surprise, surprise, win against the Cardinals 7-1. Padres beat the Giants. The Reds take down the Nationals. Orioles beat the Angels. Poor Angels, losing all their players last year. Man, what a terribly run franchise. Still yet to start. First pitch coming up. Cubs, Rangers, Guardian Athletics, Rockies, D-backs, Red Sox, Mariners. And in game number 1 of the season, we have a game in extra innings. The Pirates and the Marlins, top of the 10th right now, just starting. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know if we're definitely not going to have a final before we get off the scoreboard today, but O'Neal Cruz will be leading things off over there. Well, actually, there's 2 outs. Sorry, he's not leading off. There are 2 outs in that one. Also, another game going on that is still yet to finish, the New York Yankees taking on the Houston Astros. Now, that game is close. It's not quite in extras yet. In the bottom of the 9th right now, the Yankees are up 5-4 with 2 outs and 2 on. And as I pull up that game, it goes final. So the Yankees beat the Astros. Game number 1 of the MLB season. 161 more to go. Am I right? It's a long baseball season. A long baseball season. So we're going to continue to update you. We're not going to lean too heavy into baseball yet. Season just started. We got to see, where things shake out. We got to get through March Madness, NHL playoffs. We're going to have a lot going on. Next, let's real quick touch on NASCAR. I want to give you the betting favorites. This brought to you by DraftKings. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, both plus 500. Those are your favorites. Followed by Martin Truex Jr. at plus 600. Kyle Larson plus 850. Ty Gibbs plus 900. Those are your top 10 favorites for Richmond this weekend. And they will be racing on Easter Sunday. It will be a night race on Easter, 7 o'clock, the Toyota Owners 400. You can catch that race right here on WSIC. Coverage by MRN starting at 6 o'clock. So tune in, listen to that race right here on WSIC, broadcasted by MRN. Couple of games in the NCAA tournament tipping off in the next few minutes. Hopefully you keep an eye on what's going on. I'll tell you what, I can't wait for the tournament to start. I think one thing that they should do is find a way to spread it out a little more. Yeah, you got 4 of the 7 days of the week, but when the NCAA tournament is on, if they wanted to, kind of like the NFL on any given day of the year, 365. If the NFL wanted to, they can take control and dominate the news headlines. The NCAA tournament could probably dominate a month from mid-March to mid-April, whenever it really ends. Second week of April, usually, I think. First or second week of April. They could dominate sports if they wanted. If they just spread the games out a little bit more, they would have a monopoly on this time of the year. Because think about it. Yeah, the NHL is going on. How many people are really watching it? Yeah, the NBA is getting close to the playoffs. How many people are really watching it? We're out of time here on the scoreboard today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, as you always do. Appreciate the listenership that we have here. Reminder, starting on Monday, the scoreboard will be at 5 o'clock. Set your alarms accordingly. That's it. That's all we got here for today. Tomorrow's back here, same time, same place. It'll be 6 o'clock. But you can also catch me guest hosting the home ad show in the morning. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you then.